Well, here's the problem, man. He already played Sejuani.
Yeah.
That's out. Skarner and Maokai have been perma-ban status.
Yeah.
I don't see a world where they're allowed through. Victor's already been banned by CFO. I expect these next two to be Skarner and Maokai. It's Zyra
100%.
and Lilia banned out by KC.
Are you in a...
No, they don't. It's Draven. Yike is guaranteed to be able to get at least Skarner or Maokai.
I can hear French cheers already. Honestly, though, okay, I would still invest my first pick into it. I guess their reasoning here is they're going to leave Skarner up and they want to take the Maokai on the side of CFO. Or they're like, you know what, you get to choose, fine. You can have
Pick
a tank.
one, we'll take the other, just handshake them.
You can have a tank, we'll have a tank too. JunJia's been great on the tanks as well. I'm assuming they're leaving both up and not just one.
Yeah, I would be
unless they're like Omega, yeah.
I would be
feel like that
very
has to be the play.
confused if they banned out one of them and left the other one up. Because I feel like...
Because if you leave, or you can do the thing where you give them Skarner and then you pick Ivern into it, which people do like as the answer. Okay, so yeah, they leave both up, so the Maokai as well as the Skarner.
Okay.
So now, it actually, what it does is push down the priority. You don't have to first pick now.
Right, unless, just handshake it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what they want.
Maokai doesn't really get countered by anything. Except like super aggressive junglers if you wanted to like punish that way. But there's a lot of teams that do like running the Ivern into the Skarner. And KC definitely would be one of those teams.
Yeah, Yike and Ivern looks good.
Yeah.
So we got the Corki first. This is a flex. Can be played either mid or ADC. So keeping the head scratching here on the side of CFO.
All right, we get Skarner versus Ivern probably then.
This was in the first series that these teams played a few days ago. When JunJia played this, it was very effective against KC. Granted, Yike was on Vi in that game, which has not been one of his stronger picks.
I would bet my 100% of my net worth that Yike is going to be either Maokai or Ivern. Yike is going to be a tree this game.
Okay.
I literally promise you.
Okay.
Yike is a tree already.
Okay.
I can see him growing roots down there.
All right, he's got some bark, he's got some leaves, some branches. Orianna. Now remember, this was banned against CFO last game, second half of the draft by KC. They wanted to keep hongQ away from this one. This time around, they're saying, nah, you know what? We'll take this. We can play it into the Corki if we have to, but it's also one of those just like kind of evergreen mid laner picks that works into a lot of different stuff if they want to put the Corki in the AD carry role instead.
Yeah. All right, so which tree? The
tank tree.
The tree of choosing is his Maokai. Definitely a massive, massive pick for Yike. So much success on it in the past, and he needs it most now. KC need it most right now. Game 5, full pressure on.
But what do they go with for the third pick? I expect they probably want to keep the flex power of the Corki open. Okay, Jax slammed down. Desk was talking about put Canna on a carry pick. Put him on something where he can win lane, get ahead, be a threat.
So, Impact ran the Jax into Driver, and Driver solo killed him with a Gangplank. Let's see what Driver wants to use against Canna. Is it the same matchup?
Is he gonna slam it again?
Canna,
okay.
I would say Canna's a different beast, but you know, Driver was absolutely smashing Impact with his Gangplank.
This is Driver's go-to. This is Driver's go-to for the Jax.
In this exact matchup. All right.
He sees helicopter, he counters with boat. That is the play.
All right, so let's go down the list here then for the bottom lane, because the Corki early flexible pick there does prompt a Ziggs ban because Corki, the AD threat there, they want to take out a Ziggs possibility for bottom side of the map.
Exactly. It's one of those things that can flex around either way. The Lucian banned away from Doggo. Another one of those ones, like Lucian Nami is one of those combos that you can still find all the way to Steven Fearless.
Last time around where KC had the draft where they threw a bunch of bans at Doggo and they pushed Doggo super far down the tier list, it worked out well for KC. You know, that Sivir game worked out quite well for KC. So they're really trying to just squeeze that AD carry champ pool down even further, make him squirm.
Final ban for the series for CFO is the Poppy.
Interesting. So that makes me think they want some
Something
more
jumpy.
mobility. Yeah, exactly. Something more jumpy.
Yeah.
I mean,
these guys don't jump.
yeah, exactly. For the bottom lane. So that's like their protection for some support pick here, like a Leona or something. Or Leona already was used in game 1.
Rakan Bando. Oh, now this could be something very, very interesting.
Dude, are we gonna get like a Senna with some sort of jumpy carry down there to farm?
No, I'm okay. Actually, you know what? We're not going to get baited. We're not going to get baited. They haven't locked it in yet. This might just be a gigantic bamboozle.
Dude, I've seen. Okay, never mind. Okay. Just gonna be a Zeri plus some enchanter then.
Okay.
Lulu's already pre-banned out, so Yuumi is available.
This is one of the most like stock standard comps ever, I feel like, for CFO. You've got just a big meatball tank in the jungle, standard control mage mid, bruiser
Dude, I love
top.
Nilah. I am a huge Nilah fan. Yes!
Okay. Nilah for Caliste.
You get some crazy stuff with the passive with Senna too. It's perfect.
Okay.
Oh, that's actually insane synergy right here. All right, what's the response for the Zeri? Are we just going Yuumi? Or something else? We cooking something better?
I'm very curious what they want to go with alongside the Zeri. Traditionally always does best with an enchanter.
Ooh, this is so much more safety. The Canna ult. Oh no, that is okay.
No,
Aw,
okay.
man. I mean, I don't get like super excited for Canna, but way more excited than a Yuumi.
I mean, it's hard to be excited for Yuumi
Okay.
usually, but this is the ancient forbidden magic. This is what you see on page 1 of the Necronomicon. This is Zeri Yuumi.
So, remember how CFO just had a lot of success in the previous 2 games, and they built up all this momentum. They were on kick-ass stuff. They were on proactive, making plays, taking names, winning lanes. This game, not so much.
Well, there is
Not
one
so
champion
much.
that can do that, and it's Skarner. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on JunJia to set things up for these other lanes, because you can get some real powerful stuff going, but Skarner really feels like the only one who can make it happen.
Tense.
Very.
Tense stuff here. Game 5. Both teams with some very young players at their first internationals, looking to prove themselves, looking to earn themselves a spot in the finals.
This is going to be a good one, man. It has been so long for either one of these regions to make an international final.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this has been since the last time that Europe was in an international final, G2 World Finals 2019. The last time that a representative from what is now the LCP was in an international final, TPA Season 2 World Finals.
Yeah, it's actually incredible stuff what CFO have already accomplished this year at this tournament. You mentioned the LMS. They come from such a long and rich history of international tenacious wins. You know, from the Flash Wolves, from the TPA that you're talking about, this has always been the region that has pushed the top 4 the most and taken the most wins off of the top 4. And they are doing that region proud despite all of the mergers, constantly merging more regions into them and ending up as LCP. They still here are doing the region proud on the international stage, and they're fishing around right now for some Yuumi Qs.
Yep. It's time to leave it all on the Rift. After this, I mean, somebody's going to finals tomorrow and somebody's tournament ends here. It has been a battle of a series between these two so far.
Speaking of the LMS and Flash Wolves and the rich history, Maple is streaming right now in a maid costume that he put on after game 2 and started a lot of momentum for CFO. So shout out to him, one of the all-time legends. All right, driver Gangplank into Canna Jax.
Yep.
Will it go as well as his Gangplank into Impacts Jax?
Well, Canna won the first barrel battle, knocking that one down, getting the plus 10 gold before driver was able to detonate it, and there Canna wins another
10,
barrel.
baby.
That's 2 barrels.
Canna looks stiff to me, okay? Look at that.
Yeah.
He avoids it. Oh.
Oh, he's in driver's head. He's winning the minigame. Canna already level 2.
Kanna's got some clean movement so far.
Canna's ready for this game number 5.
He is locked in. Honestly, Kanna's been locked in for so long now. I mean, he has constantly performed for this squad. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, the height matchup we were looking for with the Nilah plus the Senna down here, applying some pressure, but they get ignited on the bounce back of the wave. Not gonna do too much. Heal still available, both potions still available on the side of KC.
Junglers also clearing opposite directions this time around. You can see some question mark pings in the red side jungle coming out from KC, thinking, okay, maybe Skarner's clearing through his red buff right now, and he is. We'll see if this turns into any potential playmaking for either side, as Vladi's going to go ahead and throw that ward off to the side of the mid lane, make sure that he does not get ganked. Doggo popping the barrier there. With Caliste and Targamas continuing to play aggressively, owning the tempo, owning the control, owning the push early on here in this bottom lane. Not to the same degree they were in game number 1, but still, bullying Zeri Yuumi early is kind of how it goes.
Yeah, and the Nilah plus the Senna, the synergies that we talked about, that we love so much with them, with the experience bonus, with the healing and shielding combination, and the possibilities of going for your engages and being a duo that not only can gain push, but also can create plays, is just so massive. Like, they actually bring so much CC to the game too. You're just bringing so many options with the Senna Snare, with the ultimate engage that you can pop off with the Nilah, as well as the auto attack shield. But mid lane, you had your eyes on JunJia. You wanted some big Skarner stuff from him, Flowers. Guess what? KC have their eyes on him too with that ward, and they saw him wiggling around.
Oh, but down here, CFO. Yike is ready and waiting for him. Over the wall, there goes the Zeri, but a nice bramble smash right on back. Doggo to danger. It's first blood over to Caliste. Kaiwing cannot save his marksman. KC are on the board first.
KC saw the Skarner on the top side, so Yike goes bottom. They punish.
A driver taking a beating up here from the Jacks at the same time. Caliste and Targamas off to a good start down there in bottom lane. That's exactly what KC needs to kind of slow down this momentum that CFO has had for the past 2 games.
Yeah, Yike looking so much better on one of those prime jungle champs that have been highlighted, the tree. And he was waiting with open arms for that Zeri to hop over. Critical stuff. And look at that, Flowers. It's a BF sword with that kill for Caliste. Oh, yeah. A whole BF sword. He's got both sums available on the Nilah. Canna.
Oh, early orange from Driver. He has to flash away. Just for a second, I almost thought Canna was about to die to a creep block there. That turret was gearing back to go for the second shot. Driver with a ward in the brush forces Canna to delay his back. Let's take another look at what happened bottom as Doggo was just no way out. Yike was ready and waiting.
Yeah, it was really nice on the time there for the foot. They just bounced the wave off the tower. Yike comes down, sitting in try, waiting for him to jump on into his arms. Honestly, I think there should have been more communication on CFO's side. Plus, that is like a very normal jungle timer right there.
Yeah.
You know, that's the time where junglers are, have some extra moments. And since JunJia was topside, they also, I think, should have been a bit more careful there. But very nice from Yike, who now here on this Maokai. He's also going to be the one to get to level 6 earlier. And Maokai level 6, very obviously, so much power for these objective fights. So really nice, kind of smooth pathway here for Yike in a game that we were looking for him to step up again. He's definitely set up to do so.
Ooh, Vladi going in right on top of hongQ, who immediately pops the point-blank shockwave. Targamas rotating over to make sure that his mid laner does not drop there. Some aggressive play in the mid lane results in Vladi having to use his flash. The neutral objectives, one for one team, one for the other. Dragon early for KC. Remember, this was massive in them getting their first win back in that super slow game 1. Stacking up the Drakes, getting the early soul, not allowing the Azir and Sivir comp to scale. As Doggo and Kaiwing It's gonna really be obnoxious here for Canna to try to deal with now that the lanes have been swapped around. Driver's not exactly having a great time dealing with Targamas and Caliste in the bot side either, but you can see Yike in the enemy jungle, placing down some vision, placing down some saplings, and just trying to provide some additional threat. It looks like KC might be eyeing Driver down here in the bottom lane. He still does not have his ulti ready to go again. He already used it once to clear a wave that was crashing into this turret on the reset of his bot lane. And Caliste and Targamas, it looks like they're going to bring Yike down here, see if they can clear this out. Driver in some danger, pops one barrel immediately. Caliste with the apotheosis. And there it is again, it's KC 2-0.
Well executed dive from KC. Now, Canna finds a scorpion in his jungle.
And he's not too happy about that. Leave my frog alone. Damn scorpion. You know, there's an old parable about this, scorpions and frogs.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah. You want to elaborate?
No, I don't actually remember what the lesson is. I just remember that it's called the scorpion and the frog.
Well, TLDR, the scorpion's going to sting you in the end because it's a scorpion. So what did you expect?
Okay, well, that's...
I'm not going to tell the whole thing. You know, you're going to have to Google it if you want to look it up. But that's fair. That's fair.
Driver got stung too.
That's the end of it. The scorpion stings him. Surprise. Yep, Driver getting eaten up in this one. Nicely done with the dive there. Of course, they have options for dropping tower aggro and the sustain from that duo. Caliste and Targamas just are going to be brutal there as they rotate them now into mid lane as well for the mid lane control. And switch Vladi here on the Corki down into the side lane. No problem for him.
I mean, that's the entire gold lead right now between the teams, is the bottom lane duo for KC. Yeah. It's Caliste and Targamas on this Nilah Senna combo in game number 5 to try to deal with the very scary hyper carry Zeri that has been a menace in so many games, so many metas before. But Doggo and Kaiwing, they're behind. They're gonna need more time than ever to scale up now. And Caliste and Targamas are happy to just be this driving force of power for KC that the rest of the team can play around, rotating around, making sure that they're there for whatever objective the team wants to fight for. And the range and power of these champions can't be underestimated.
Certainly cannot be underestimated in a game with this much behind it. The best of 5 here all comes down to this, and it's really going to be about which team, which players are more composed on this stage in the critical moments. Show more poise on this stage. The momentum had been going the way of CFO with the last 2 games, with their proactive team comps, but this time around, they go back to one that is much more similar to the first 2 games, the 2 games that KC absolutely dominated them on. So yeah, this is going to be the one. The true meaning, it's going to be a dive on top side.
Yeah, they see the teleport coming in from the Jax, and JunJia and hongQ are both ready immediately to go after Canna here. Pops the counter-strike nice and early. Now they want to try to go after him. JunJia immediately slams him into the wall with the Eshal impact. They need more damage to get it done. The Impale is there. JunJia drags him out of the turret range in time, while Doggo and Kaiwing are defending on the other side of the map. It's Yike again, trying to make something happen, but the lightning crash is already down. There goes the Yuumi ulti on top of it. They clear the wave. They stop the dive, they stop the counterplay. Meanwhile, Driver's up in the top lane playing Minecraft, just getting the gold out of that turret, and that's exactly where they want him to be. CFO closing the gold gap a little here with a nicely timed play to punish Canna's teleport.
Exactly, it's all 3 things. They take care of all 3 lanes. Gank top, use the double ultimates on bottom side to clear the wave, and then teleport Orianna into mid lane to deal with the extra sacrifice that they made of the mid lane wave getting up to tower that Vladi had pushed in. So very good usage there, you know, of their resources for CFO to handle all 3. So they make the dive on top side. The dive does take a while because they're going to have to wait out the counter-strike, then they go for the full commitment. But as soon as they finish this dive, they're trying to get hongQ away from the tower so he can recall and teleport mid, so they kind of mitigate the losses that they gave up, which was open mid lane, obviously, and then bottom lane, they invest the rest of their resources there to try and like control the rest of the map after making a big play.
All right, Yike wants to start up the second Drake, as Vladi will now be farming up in bottom lane. Bot side duos have rotated over towards mid now. JunJia coming down, does not want to allow Yike to take this one for free, but Caliste and Targamas are here. This is the point of power I was talking about for KC. If they are in the fight, CFO has got to respect the lead that they have. Driver versus Canna up here in the top side. Driver just immediately eating the orange after we get stunned by the counter strike. Responds with the barrel for that fast, snappy trading pattern. And it looks like CFO will take control over the bottom side river. KC does not want anything to do with the fight, so no more dragon stacking for them in this one.
Yeah, they once again, they made the call. All right, we dropped the bottom minion wave.
Nice pull there onto Caliste, forcing him all the way back out.
Again, that's a 2-for-1, so you're going for the wave.
Yep.
And so he gets a big chunk, gets a big clear on the wave, and Doggo right back down to the other side to deal with the bottom one. They have the Skarner here as well, so I think that it will be a sacrifice on those grubs. I mean, second pack does take a lot longer to take, so it's not like just because they saw Skarner down at the bottom side means he'll always be there, but they're not making like the full move up to Yike to actually try and push him off. Instead, JunJia's just going to take his Raptors as payment.
Right. This is just the handshake again, but it's the hands going to the other arms from the first time. Right. Nothing completely stacked either way. And I feel like this does help the side of CFO because of the fact that they're drafting more of this scaling type stuff like you're talking about. They're drafting like the Zeri Yuumi, going for late, comparing it back to the first couple of games. And again, it was the fact that early Seoul for KC in game number 1 that pressured their opponents to come fight them before the Azir and the Sivir had scaled. It was just like the game they needed to play. Now there's not that same pressure, and CFO aren't going to feel compelled to have to answer as early.
100% agree. Now, will Driver get picked again? Because that has been something that has happened a lot in this series.
You know, Driver just going all the way in on Canna here. Remember, he's already used his orange now. He's got some help coming in the form of JunJia. Scorp gets him out, and Driver is going all the way back home.
And as that play was starting, you look at the mini-map, and you see, 3 members of KC moving up, or of course we do because we have God Vision. Obviously CFO don't, but CFO, the other 2 lanes were in full reset. So there was no other point on the map where you would think that KC were going to attack, since the other 2 were kind of like bouncing back.
Oh, Caliste goes in for a play on Doggo. Does not have the damage to get the kill. The Apotheosis, though, just pops the wave. We're seeing so much ulti for the sake of popping the wave and maintaining a defensive stance from both sides in this game.
Certainly are. That Zeri, I mean, the wave clear gets insane, right? With Static Shiv. Plus, with the ultimates constantly being used, he's only got 2 more stacks on the Cole to proc as well. So they're trying to chip away at that KC bottom lane lead.
And that is the entire lead still for KC. MasterCard lane economy snapshot right there on your screen. The gold overall dead even between the 2 teams. It's bot and support for KC. It's the other 3 roles for the side of CFO. And KC wants to put the pain here onto the tier 1 turret. Nice shockwave on a Caliste from hongQ, but nobody else is here in time. JunJia trying to go in with the Ishtal impact, but he can't close the gap in time. Goes forward, beautiful use of the Skarner ulti, as Doggo doesn't have the damage to kill off Caliste, but surely the tree will get chopped.
He's out.
JunJia trying to keep following, as now Vladi has the opportunity to put damage into the tier 1 turret over in the mid lane, but a TP is going to bring hongQ back instead. Now he's point blank range with the Corki, needs a little bit more damage, tries to get away, flashes out of the extra big one, and now Vladi's behind enemy lines. hongQ's still alive. The tier 1 turret is going to die, but at the same time, Driver killed one on the top side first, so it's first turret over to CFO, second turret over to KC, a kill traded back and forth in the mid lane with both mid laners. It's a mess, Kobe, and it looks like we already got the feats of warfare. Did we have the feats of warfare claimed? I'm losing track.
Gotta wait for the rotator thing. There we go, we got him.
Okay.
Honestly, so the initial, I could not believe that no member of KC died in the initial bot side play. That was such a good flash Skarner ult from JunJia, but all members of KC scramble and escape with their lives using their flashes. Then you have the mid lane ring around the rosy of the tower, where hongQ made the decision, by the way, to go back in. He was like, I am going to bait for my Skarner here. Vladi gets the kill, though, in the attempted bait, so it ends up being, like an assisted kill for a non-assisted kill, which is, slightly more bonus gold for the other side. But the tower also was taken, and mid tower gone for CFO. That bastion of defense that you need for the middle of the map no longer available to them as we look towards the Rift Herald. All 5 members of CFO are coming, by the way.
Yike and JunJia are both standing by the Herald. Targamas and Caliste are here. The Shockwave doesn't find anything, and hongQ could be in some trouble. Targamas down to 40% HP now, as well as JunJia's here on the front line. The Gangplank goes up the top, a lot of damage down to hongQ as Caliste and Canna trying to go in, but Caliste is already down! That's the most fed player! JunJia dragging Vladi into the range of everybody else as well, and Doggo is barking! He's hungry for KC blood!
CFO, do it! They get the fight! They're gonna get the dragon! That was massive! Flowers, the peel is real! Doggo stays alive, he gets to jump forward and punish. Wait, they're gonna get the tower and the dragon at the same time. That fight gives you multiple objectives. This is huge. JunJia on the Skarner, Flowers. Insane.
He is doing what needs to be done. Now, the Herald did go the way of KC. That is the silver lining here for them. That is the one thing saving that engagement from being an unmitigated disaster. But now, Kobe, allow me to direct thine eyes down to the scoreboard, because it's now the Zeri with more gold.
Zeri is scary. Okay, they started out. Targamas has to flash, then to engage off of Maokai ulti. But look at that Gangplank ultimate they're going to have to go through. So Canna and Caliste try and get in there, but hongQ just flashes the Nilah ultimate. And then Nilah has the problem where she's melee range in there and just gets annihilated. Huge kiting from CFO to be able to punish the disparate engage from KC. They were not all together in their attempt, and they get taken down.
And the big thing that we also got to praise, that Mikhail's from Kaiwing was perfect. He waited until the Maokai hit hongQ and then Captain Jacked him from the third-person perspective.
Yeah,
it was beautifully done. JunJia showing up down here in the bot lane now. Kanna's kind of a hard target to dive. Still moving forward towards him here. Ooh, swing and a miss on the Impale. Let's see if Doggo can get it done instead. Yeah, okay, I can't even finish the sentence. That's Zeri now with 2 fully completed items. Very, very intimidating stuff as KC gonna use their Herald up here on the top side, force down that tier 1 turret. It's KC now with 3 turrets to 2. Doggo's about to equalize that, but KC's sticking around. They're gonna at least get a second charge out of this one as Driver is the one here to defend. Herald taken out as the Gangplank ulti is summoned up. The Cannon Barrage rains down. It's only gonna force KC back. There's no kill potential here. Man, what a game 5 we are getting, buddy.
Definitely. Everything coming down to this, all of the pressure here. That last fight was insane. KC tried to get the initiation, but the peel too good on the side of CFO. I mean, honestly too, their comp just gets so good as the game goes on.
Yeah.
This Gangplank, so much map pressure. The ultimate already indispensable. The side lane pressure. Driver is a rich, rich fellow on this Gangplank, once again using it so effectively into the Jax. What a play. How is it fair that this CFO squad have 2 top laners that each can perform extremely well? To this point, it is insane. Much deserved here for CFO in game number 5. They are standing up to the pressure.
And I love the fact that you mentioned the pressure, because remember back to game 2, Driver's game on the Gragas, which is one of his main champions. It was a real stinker, man. That was not the performance he wanted. They tag him out for rest for game 3. They get that one to bounce back, and now Driver's back in here, commanding a 2,000 gold lead over Kanna's Jax in game number 5. Vladi and Canna doing a good job breaking those barrels, and now Driver's got to get away. Counter-strike is going to land. Driver immediately cleansing the stun on that one. Lands another barrel. Tries to put a little bit more damage back onto the Jax, but now he's overplayed it a little bit as hongQ trying to stop the recall there of Vladi. hongQ might have him, but it might go wrong the other way. hongQ about to die, but he stays alive thanks to the Yuumi. Now JunJia and Doggo. It's another double for the Zeri, but the trade is the Otacon on the other side of the map.
It's a flower Otacon too. The perma-stats here for KC. The bonus experience. Nilah here. They're going to farm the flowers, but they lost 2 on the top side from the CFO baits. 2 baits in a row. First, it is Driver baiting. Then it is hongQ, who maybe unintentionally baiting. He thought he could win the 1v1, but the Senna ultimate shield kind of turned the tides there, so he also had to run. In the end, no Oyster falls, though, Flowers. And they were able to get 2 kills in payment. Still, the permanent value of the Otacon Flowers here picked up for KC. So it's not all for nothing. But Driver here, he knows what he's doing. He's just trying to buy time for the rest of the team to get there. Of course, permanent stats from that Otacon that's being taken by KC on the other side. Honestly, I just want to get back to live and see about the reset on the map afterwards, because sometimes you can get a lot done when you take 2 members out and there is a dragon coming in 40 seconds or something. It could turn into CFO, vision control over the objective, which it has. And that sometimes is like a small win in itself. Yeah. For them to be able to get there first with the player advantage, have their control words already preset. The difference between a Gangplank stacking barrels from brush with vision control is huge compared to a bunch of brush filled up with Maokai saplings. So CFO do get that, although the Gangplank currently split pushing on top side and is going to have to teleport in.
Okay. He's up there. He'll deal with that. Keep your eyes on
He's
Doggo.
Teleporting in. Okay.
Doggo, very powerful on the Zeri right now. Nearly 3 fully completed items. KC moving up into this bottom side river. JunJia on Skarner also has so much playmaking potential in these river corridors, being able to charge through so many walls at so many different angles.
Yeah, it's critical. The Skarner ultimate into short range like the Nilah.
But look at Canna. He's behind. He's wrapping around. This might be a pincer attack. If CFO is not ready for this, and Canna jumps over the wall, immediately insta-stuns Doggo. hongQ's gonna be there first, though. hongQ's gonna die here at the very start. They pop the enemy mid laner. KC might just have themselves the fight they're looking for. They're sticking around trying to fight for the Drake instead. Lightning crashes. The Cloud Drake is slain. Doggo's moving forward. He goes in after Targamas, but now he's gonna be bursted down. He nearly dies. Massive kill coming in as JunJia tries to do something in the back end, but KC have just found an absolute huge turnaround. Beautifully done to catch hongQ. Canna standing and delivering when he absolutely had to. And CFO are ace.
It's a clean ace at that! No KC member drops! They immediately get to pushing down mid lane! Kanna's gonna destroy this secondary tower! Huge! KC just cashed in! Alright, here's another look. You mentioned it, Flowers, on the flank. It is Canna! Canna, the hero for KC, time and time again. He finds hongQ this time around, takes out the Orianna, and Caliste had already been flanking down the bottom side. Doggo decides, we need to fight our way out of this. We are in trouble, there's no way else, but he can't do it. KC, they close the loop. Yike was able to get the W onto him. They lock down the Zeri, and they chase down every last Oyster this time around. KC are delivering us a banger here in game number 5. What a series!
CFO got the Drake, but KC got everything else. We are now back to such an even game state, to such a knife's edge, to such a one-instance game, one way or the other.
This is League of Legends right here. Everything being left out on Summoner's Rift in game number 5 with all the pressure on.
All right, third big item, fully completed now for Doggo with the Infinity Edge. Caliste still needs a little bit more money to get that third fully completed item for himself.
Driver's going tank plank right now, trying to build into a Randuin's.
I mean, when you consider the enemy team and you look at the Senna, Nilah, Corki, 3 ranged auto attackers, can definitely get some value out of that. Doggo fires the zap through the wall. Gold difference powered by AWS, showing that massive swing that had been building for so long for CFO. But again, all credit in the world over to Canna. Without his setup, that doesn't happen.
Insane flank from him.
Ooh, Caliste nearly getting grabbed there by the shockwave. hongQ goes for it, but now with the miss, KC feels more confident stepping up into the river, controlling some of the vision.
KC have to continue to be creative. The battle lines are so strong for CFO if they get to set their feet. If they get to plant their barrels here. Driver doing just that. You have to be always so wary of the Skarner positioning, because if the Nilah jumps in at the wrong angle and you're able to get frontline plus the Nilah locked up in that thing, that's just lights out. You don't get to recover from that. That gets layered on into a guaranteed barrel chain. You just explode. That plus the Orianna that was just absent from the previous fight.
Yeah.
If hongQ is standing, and hongQ has, up until that point, had such a massive influence. He had been performing so well, but snuck up on by the Jax.
So critically, we have about 90 seconds until what'll be the Cloud Soul spawns for CFO if they can secure it. They've got some really good Cloud Soul champions.
Yes, they do.
Like, there's some really scary stuff here. And you can already see KC moving into the river. You can already see all the red pings from CFO. Both teams know how important this is. Kobe, this might just decide the game.
It might just. All right. What are the flank angles here? You see some blue trinkets used throughout the jungle, trying to open up some avenues, some areas of vision here for them to use. Going straight to Baron now, KC. They're going to start it up. Jax is pushing on bottom side. They're not starting it up. They just clear out the vision, make CFO come check, spend a few resources here.
Okay.
Keep them wary as the dragon approaches. 50 seconds on that dragon timer.
Caliste is a higher level than hongQ right now.
Look at Skarner in the Raptor pit.
Oh, yeah.
Just looking for it.
He's wrapping around, but they see him. They see him. Didn't they? Maybe not. All right, JunJia's out.
Away.
Slips back away, 30 seconds till Drake spawns. Plus 2,000 gold lead for KC. Moving together through the Senna mist.
Oh, this next fight has so many rewards.
JunJia tanking up the Senna route. He's the one who's unafraid to step forward. He's fine with this. Canna jumping back away. Nobody wants to get Skarner grabbed all early. And it looks like KC's got control over the pit. Okay, CFO's calling the bluff. They're saying, all right, you want to take it? We're going to rush the Baron. CFO, this is a ballsy play, Kobe.
Yeah.
This could seriously end the game one way or the other.
It's going to be a 4v5 at Baron. Caliste staying on that dragon.
Yeah, Caliste is still all the way down there. The Baron's not dropping especially fast, though. Caliste has the dragon down now. Honestly, CFO's gambit doesn't pay off. KC feeling good about this one. Driver ends up getting rooted up. Eats the orange, but still loses half HP. Baron is still angry. Driver with the flash up the wall. Canna might find himself another kill, but he might find himself in a bad spot, too. CFO forced back with their top laner gravely injured as KC begin the Baron. Now Driver can go back. He can teleport to rejoin the fight and make sure that he can contribute. The Baron again, not dropping super fast, but CFO have to be ready. Doggo's got the Yuumi attached to him, and he's gonna step forward now with Kaiwing ready to rock. JunJia swoops in through the side, and Canna's ready for the flank yet again. Nobody on CFO is watching for him just yet. It's a massive grab! They've managed to find Caliste! He's already down, and now they're taking the rest of the fight. Vladi's trying to get away. Doggo dies, but he takes Vladi with him. Canna's in the middle of everybody. He might just be the hero they need. Driver is so low. JunJia is so low. A double kill over to Canna. The hero of France is the Jax today. KC's top laner refuses to lose.
That's the ace, and that's going to be the Baron for KC. They've done it again. What a fight! They got the engage onto Caliste, but at the last moment, he smashes his keyboard, he gets off his ulti, he hits his spells, and KC jump on it, they fight on it. And even though Caliste goes down, they take the fight. Here's another look at how it started out. This started out with the best trade deal of all time, with KC getting the dragon and actually getting 90% of Driver's health bar as well. So then KC, they say, thank you. We will then start off the Baron. CFO, they go for Caliste. They can't quite burst him down in time, and the ulti goes off, the shield goes off. Then it's a scramble. Vladi goes in, Yike goes in, Canna on the top side. He sees it. The counter strike goes into the heart of CFO. They take them down and chase them down for the victory here. Now with Baron, though, that's not going to be the end of the game as we get back to live. It's just going to be a Baron-empowered KC.
They've still got to end the game, but they are in such a good spot to get it done now. This has been such an intense one, back and forth, as CFO have now seriously stumbled and are one step away from death's door. They are down 5,000 gold. They do not have a dragon soul they can claim. They do not have anything to do but dig in and defend as KC close in on the bottom lane tier 3 turret.
CFO trying to clear the waves, the Baron-empowered waves. Jax is at the tower. JunJia
Canna might be in a bad spot here. JunJia, nice use of the impale there, catches the jacks, but he's just so damn tanky they can't kill him. Canna gets away. Not just yet though, the shockwave lands from hongQ to finalize the
Another
kill.
one!
The tier 3 turret down in the bottom lane at the same time. CFO stop the Baron there.
These games are about hero plays, Flowers. Who will be the hero to step up next? In the Baron fight, Canna is able to chase them down, gets the kills. But here, hongQ says, you will not escape. JunJia starts it out. They get the huge pull into the tower. Times his ultimate perfectly there on the Skarner. But even so, as you say, Canna's so tanky. hongQ says, not on my watch, I don't care. He finishes him off, even at the cost of 90% of his own HP on the chase. And CFO, they fight their way out of it. They put a stop to the KC onslaught. The KC siege stopped in its tracks.
They did manage to break the tier 3 turret in the bottom lane. That means for KC, even if they don't get anything else with this Red Bull Baron, even if the last 45 seconds wear off without an additional push, all they need is a single pick anywhere. You can just walk into the enemy base.
Who will be the next hero to step up on this stage and claim that victory? We have 17-year-old hongQ, 18 Caliste, 19 Vladi. These kids, Flowers, each of them with the opportunity.
The kids are all right, man.
The kids are all right. Let's see what they can do. Dragon about to arrive, and that is a very large dragon. Okay.
Yep. This is a big deal. Remember, this is a Cloud Soul again. If CFO can claim it, there are no super minions flowing. It was only the tier 3 turret in the bottom lane, not the inhibitor itself that went down. This is also sapling time for Maokai. CFO trying to step up here. Ball in place from hongQ.
Another flank from Caliste.
Yeah,
he did this last time.
You know they gotta be watching out because Canna is swooping around the same way he did in the previous version of this fight. Caliste below. They're going after Caliste. They see the carry. Over the wall goes JunJia. He wants Caliste right now. They know if they kill this guy, it could be seriously huge. Caliste with the apotheosis trying to stay alive, but the patience on the impale is enough. Doggo takes him down. KC has lost their AD carry, but again, they have stopped the Dragon Soul. 3-3 on the Drakes.
They should push bot. They should push bot. You should at least need to make them pay for this with a tower. KC, even though they lose Caliste, like you say, they get another Dragon. They stop another Soul. CFO, though, they have to make them pay more. It's just one kill and a secondary tower here. That's some gold.
But the tier 3 turret also died in mid to the minions. KC ends up getting a tier 3 turret of their own.
2 exposed inhibitors now for CFO as this game gets pushed even further. Another timer delayed here as the Dragon goes over to KC. JunJia flashes on Caliste. Caliste then, they're full sending on him again. He will buy time. He puts up his auto attack shield. He uses his ultimate. He gets the extra shield from the Senna as well. He delays, he delays, he delays.
Sometimes that's all you got to do. We got Baron spawning here in about 90 seconds. The next Drake way, way off on the horizon. Wave pushed up in bottom for the side of CFO, while the main squad pushes up mid. Driver defending the top side. What a crazy game.
Insane stuff. Vladi here is almost level 18 on this Corki, wielding his 4-item power spike here.
Doggo close to level 16 here on the Zeri. Pretty critical point. You can see he's at like 90% EXP. CFO would love to have him hit that marker, unlock the final level ulti before whatever next big fight breaks out. Doggo trying to tag somebody there with a zap, and instead gets tagged himself.
Driver is recalling right now instead of continuing the split push, so I have to think he got an item completion. Yep, 4-item spike now for Driver as well. The Gangplank freshly minted here, coming out to join the rest of the team as the Baron will approach. 30 seconds on the clock, Flowers.
It's a big item too. Sterix Gauge, so much of a difference maker. Not quite on the same level as a Stasis, but you know, it's up there, man.
Yeah, the Bruiser Plank.
Yep.
Not quite the Tank Plank, but again,
a lovely mix of flavors. Driver lands a barrel onto Vladi, but the immediate Valk away keeps him fine.
That is the drawback. The barrel chains are not as big as you normally assume from late game Gangplank.
And look at the damage onto hongQ just from the sapling. The sapling plus the red smite plus the Leandries. It's so annoying to deal with just checking into these brushes. Canna taking a quick hit there from the ball. hongQ, very strong in his own right, does have his Seekers still locked and loaded, armed and ready to go. He is 3,000 gold down compared to Vladi. JunJia trying to tag through the wall there, go after Yike, but he doesn't find him. Nice use of the ulti there from the Maokai to stop the Skarner in his tracks. JunJia without a flash to be able to try to go for an impale there. Gangplank ulti used, Maokai ulti used. Everything else, no, we actually have plenty of things used.
Yeah, I don't know about that Gangplank ultimate, actually. I mean, the Skarner ult was 1-for-1 with the Maokai ult, so that makes sense. And the flash was also burned from Yike, but the Gangplank ult also pretty big and not going to be available now if KC want to try and push. KC do get the reward of getting mid lane push.
Oh, nice! A little bit of damage there on the Targamas, and Driver wants even more. He's hitting him with another one. Doesn't quite have enough just yet. Targamas with the flash over the wall to escape from Doggo. CFO playing so aggressively. JunJia does take a lot of damage in the process, though. That's a jungler, Kobe. He can't just go back to base and TP. He's going to have to walk it back.
The lasting effects, though. The flashes blown. The 5-minute cooldowns. Yike's flash blown and Targamas flash blown. Very much worth it for the side of CFO. Before the big objective fights, you need to do the small work of getting the big cooldowns in your advantage. They did the small work. Now can they do the big work? The big fight coming. Yike finishes the blue, goes for his recall. He leaves behind some saplings, some presence here. But the dragon also about to spawn again.
Yup,
another Cloud Soul.
It has to be the Soul. No way. One way or the other, it's got to be the Soul. Keep your eyes on Doggo too. Full build here. 6-item Zeri. Randuin's plus Immortal Shield Bow. Defensive options to try to weather the storm of some of this damage coming out from everybody on KC's side.
Man, Vladi is just so far ahead though. A full item and an extra BF sword.
Yeah.
hongQ here is...
hongQ's struggling a little bit.
All right, Canna looks.
Yeah, Canna immediately popping the counter-strike, but no opportunity to do a whole lot with it. CFO spread out a little bit. Targamas with so much range too, 163 souls on the Senna. This guy can attack from a screen away. Doggo's looking for the chance to go in on Vladi. He skates over the wall, but Vladi with a bout can get away in time. Now in the meantime, it's Canna going after hongQ again. Just like last time in the bot side river, this might be what makes the difference here in the game. JunJia on the front line, slams Yike back into the wall. hongQ's in danger, goes into stasis to stay alive, but JunJia's gonna be killed up first. Caliste into the back line, Doggo's about to die. That's it, that's gonna be the game. KC just ace for 1. That will do it. They started off so strong. Their opponents took them the distance, but it does not matter. This is their first international tournament. It will be their first international finals appearance. They will bring Europe to an international final for the first time in 5 years. KC, take the win.
When the pressure is on, ice in their veins, they stand up and they deliver. What a fight at the end. Doggo goes for Vladi, he simply valks away, and Canna gets the engage. Wow, what a series, what a game, what a series, Flowers. I am glad to be here with you for this journey.
We kick these semifinals off right.
KC delivering us quite a banger, as well as CFO. Big props to CFO for what they accomplished this tournament. Huge respect for these guys. The region merging over and over, more regions together. They came up, they proved themselves, they delivered us a massive banger, 5-on-5, full set.
Beautifully done, insanely well fought from CFO. But damn, what an incredible performance from KC, especially when you consider how tough the start of the event was for them to bounce back, to manage to qualify for semifinals, to then play against a team that had not lost to anyone except the tournament favorites until this point, to take them to 5 games and win in a way that was just cinema in that final game. Hands up, man. That was absolutely incredible. You can see the joy on Yike's face. We talked about just like the intensity that it looked like he was feeling when we saw the player cams. And hey, your Oppo player of the series for this one is Vladi.
Vladi. He was so insanely rich in the last game, but constant plays from him. The Talia picks, the big Valk in to follow up. Look at that engage, 2-tiered engage. Canna started at the very beginning. Oh my goodness, insane stuff. I'm still reeling from that fight. The fans as well, very happy with the entertainment they've gotten today.
That whole game was crazy, man. KC deny the reverse sweep and are your first finalists for First Stand 2025. We'll find out their opponents with HLE versus TES up next, right after this.